Hello everyone, and welcome to Fluent English Journey. My name is Ava, and I'm really happy to have you here. On this channel, we upload new videos every single day to help you improve your English step by step. Our goal is to make learning English fun, interesting, and useful for real life. Today, we have an advanced English listening practice that's perfect for learners around the C1 level. In this lesson, we'll talk about 3 important parts of everyday life: family, work, and social life. You'll hear real-life stories and examples that will help you improve your vocabulary, listening comprehension, and speaking confidence. So, find a comfortable place, relax, and let's begin our journey together. 1. Family life. Last weekend, I visited my cousin Michael and his wife Laura. They live in a cozy house with their 2 children. Every time I visit them, their home is full of laughter, games, and happy noise. You can really feel the love in their family. Michael works as a software engineer, and Laura runs a small interior design business from home. Even though both of them are busy, they manage to balance their work and family life very well. Michael told me something very interesting. He said, "Even when I have deadlines at work, I always try to have dinner with my family. That time together helps me relax and reminds me why I work so hard." Laura agreed and added that she loves planning fun weekend activities for their children, things like cooking together, doing art projects, or visiting the park. She said, "It's not just about keeping the kids busy. It's about creating happy memories and teaching them useful skills they'll remember for life." Listening to them made me realize that communication and planning are the keys to a happy family life. 2. Work-life balance. Now, let's move on to work life. I recently spoke with my colleague Daniel, who was promoted to project manager at our company. With this promotion came many new tasks and responsibilities, which sometimes make his job stressful. Daniel shared his secret to managing stress. He said, "I always make a list of what's most important and what can wait. I also try to delegate tasks to my team. It's impossible to do everything alone, and asking for help isn't a weakness, it's a strength." He also talked about how important it is to take short breaks during the day. "Even just 10 minutes away from your desk can help a lot," he said. "A short walk or a coffee break helps me clear my mind and return to work with new energy." These small habits might seem simple, but they make a big difference, especially in busy or high-pressure jobs. 3. Social life. Let's now talk about social life. Last month, I attended a local community event where people shared stories about their hobbies and passions. One woman, Anna, talked about her love for painting. She said, "At first, I thought painting was just a hobby. But now, it's a way for me to express my feelings and connect with other people who share the same passion." I noticed how her face lit up when she talked about her art. It reminded me that hobbies aren't just for fun, they help us express who we are and build connections with others. Another person, Robert, shared a story about organizing a charity run in his neighborhood. He said, "It was amazing to see people of all ages come together for a good cause." Social connections aren't just about having fun, they're about building trust and helping each other. His words really inspired me. When we take part in social events, we not only enjoy ourselves, but we also make our communities stronger and kinder. Speech balloon learning tip: improve your English naturally. Before we finish, I'd like to share one useful tip to help you speak English more fluently. Try retelling a story from your own life in English. You can talk about a family dinner or weekend activity, a busy day at work or school, or a social event you joined. When you retell your story, focus on clear structure, beginning, middle, and end. Precise vocabulary. Use the right words for feelings and actions. Natural expression. Speak as if you're talking to a friend. This exercise will help you think in English, connect ideas smoothly, and sound more natural and confident when you speak. Thank you for listening to today's session. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss a new video. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember, every day brings you one step closer to fluency. See you in the next video. Let's learn some advanced words. Let's look at a few advanced words from today's stories: grounded, delegate, efficiently, creativity, and community. Try to use these words in your own sentences this week. You can tell a short story to a friend or write a short journal entry using them. Remember, using new vocabulary in your daily life helps you remember and understand it better. Cherry blossom, a personal story. Family moments. Now, let me share a personal experience with you. Last year, I organized a small family gathering at home. My wife, Sarah, and I invited our relatives for a weekend brunch. We cooked together, played games, and even had a mini storytelling session where everyone shared a memorable moment from their life. The children laughed nonstop, and the adults reminisced about their childhood memories. That day reminded me how important it is to cherish moments with family, no matter how busy life becomes. Family time doesn't have to be big or expensive sometimes. The simplest moments are the most meaningful. Sparkling heart lessons from social life. Social life can also teach us patience and empathy. I remember helping my neighbor, James, plan a surprise birthday party for his wife. Coordinating with different friends, arranging decorations, and keeping everything secret took a lot of time and energy. But when I saw the joy on their faces, I realized that all the effort was worth it. That experience showed me that the energy we invest in our relationships, whether with family or friends, always brings happiness in the long run. Building strong social connections requires kindness, understanding, and a willingness to give. Briefcase lessons from work life. In work situations, one of the most important skills is clear communication. Once, during a team meeting, I noticed there was a misunderstanding about our project deadlines. Instead of getting frustrated, I suggested that we clarify responsibilities and set realistic goals together. This simple approach helped avoid conflict and made everyone feel more confident about their tasks. It reminded me that communicating respectfully and effectively is a skill that improves every part of our lives, not just at work, but also at home and in friendships. Globe showing Europe-Africa, connecting family, work, and social life. If you think about it, family, work, and social life are all deeply connected. Balancing all three areas requires planning, empathy, and adaptability. Family gives us love and support. Work gives us purpose and structure. Social life adds joy, friendship, and connection. When we pay attention to all three, our quality of life improves and we feel more fulfilled. Woman office worker story: staying connected while traveling. Let me tell you about a colleague of mine named Susan. Susan is a marketing executive, and her job requires her to travel often. Recently, she had to be away from home for 10 days, far from her husband, Mark, and their young daughter. She shared how she stays connected even when she's far away. Susan said, "Every evening, I make sure to call Mark and our daughter. Even a short 10-minute chat helps me feel close to them. I also send little notes or photos during the day, small gestures that keep our bond strong." I found her story inspiring because it shows that even when life gets busy, we can still maintain strong family relationships with a bit of effort, love, and creativity. Brain workplace example: teamwork and delegation. Now let's switch to another workplace story. I once worked on a project with my team where the deadline was tight and the client's requirements were complex. One of my teammates, Leo, suggested a smart idea. He proposed breaking the project into smaller parts and assigning each task to the person best suited for it. Leo said, "When we focus on what each of us does best, the workload feels lighter and the results are better." His advice helped us complete the project on time and also improve team spirit. That experience reminded me of an important lesson. I used to try doing everything by myself, thinking it would be more efficient. But in reality, it only caused stress and delays. Once I learned to delegate tasks and trust my colleagues, everything became smoother and more enjoyable. In English, we can describe this with words like collaboration, delegation, efficiency, and teamwork. These aren't just work-related terms. They describe how we can succeed in every part of life. Cooking story: learning through social activities. Social life also brings wonderful surprises. Last month, I joined a weekend cooking class with my friend Henry. We learned how to prepare traditional dishes from different countries, from Italian pasta to Japanese sushi. During the class, I met several people who shared their unique experiences. One participant, Clara, told us how cooking together became a special way to bond with her children and teach them patience. She said, "It's amazing how a simple activity like preparing a meal can bring a family closer and teach life lessons at the same time." Her story made me realize that everyday activities like cooking, walking, or sharing stories can strengthen our relationships and make life richer. Sparkle's final thoughts: family, work, and social life each play a special role in who we are. When we give time and attention to all three, we feel balanced, fulfilled, and connected. So this week, I challenge you to reflect on your own experiences. Think about how you balance these areas and try using today's advanced words in your own stories. Grounded, delegate, efficiently, creativity, and community. Practice using them in sentences tell a short story, or write in your journal. The more you use new vocabulary actively, the faster it becomes part of your natural English. Small actions, meaningful connections. Stories like these are valuable because they remind us that meaningful connections often come from small, intentional actions. Whether it's a short conversation with a family member, delegating a task at work, or spending quality time with friends, every interaction matters. Let me share another example from my own life. Recently, my wife Sarah and I decided to start a weekend gardening project. At first, I thought it would just be a relaxing hobby. But over time, it became something much deeper. Gardening together turned into a way for us to relax, share ideas, and even teach our children about responsibility and patience. Every week, we notice progress, not only in our garden, but also in how we communicate and spend time as a family. Seedling growth through work-life balance. Work-life balance doesn't only help us rest, it also leads to personal growth. I remember a conversation with my friend Thomas, who recently started mentoring young professionals in his field. He told me, "Mentoring helps me reflect on my own experiences, improve my leadership skills, and build meaningful connections outside my immediate work environment." Through these activities, he not only contributes to others' growth, but also strengthens his own career and personal development. It's a great example of how helping others can also help us learn, grow, and lead more effectively. Speech balloon using storytelling to learn English. When it comes to English learning, storytelling like this is incredibly effective. You can practice using advanced phrases such as reflect, mentoring, personal growth, and intentional actions in your own sentences. Try describing your real experiences using these words. For example, talk about a moment when you reflected on a decision, mentored someone, or acted intentionally to improve a relationship. This kind of active practice helps your English sound fluent, natural, and confident. Books, social life, and community learning. Another story that comes to mind is about social networking. My neighbor Emma started a book club in our community where members share insights from the books they read. The discussions are lively and full of interesting perspectives. Emma once told me, "It's not just about reading books. It's about connecting with people, exchanging ideas, and expanding our horizons." Her story shows that social life can help us grow in many ways. It enriches our vocabulary, critical thinking, and cultural awareness all at the same time. Building instruction story, managing stress and balance at work. Now let's return to a story about work-life balance, but from a slightly different angle. My friend James is an architect, and he recently completed a major project with long hours and tight deadlines. He shared how he manages stress and avoids burnout. James said, "I create small routines during my day. Even if it's just a 15-minute coffee break, I step away from my desk and clear my mind. It helps me come back with fresh ideas." He explained that without these pauses, he would often make mistakes and feel mentally exhausted. I asked him how he balances his professional life with his family time. He smiled and said, "Every Sunday, my wife Helen and I set aside time for a family walk or a meal with our children. No emails, no phone calls, just us. It helps me recharge emotionally and strengthens our family bonds." Listening to him made me realize that successful professionals don't just work harder, they work smarter and use their time intentionally. Spira calendar, defining boundaries and managing priorities. Speaking of using time intentionally, I remember attending a productivity seminar where the speaker, Olivia, shared her personal strategy for balancing her career and personal life. She said, "I plan my week on Sunday night. I block specific times for meetings, family, and hobbies. By defining boundaries, I avoid last-minute stress and enjoy each moment fully." I found her advice very practical. For advanced English learners, phrases like defining boundaries, managing priorities, and avoiding burnout are excellent expressions to use in conversations about life planning or work habits. They make your English sound professional, natural, and thoughtful, just like how native speakers express themselves in real-life situations. Sparkle's final reflection. From gardening and mentoring to teamwork and time management, all these stories share a common message. Balance and intention create a better life. When we act with purpose at home, at work, or in our social circles, we grow not just as professionals, but as people. So this week, try to reflect on your own routines and interactions. Ask yourself, how can I be more intentional with my time? What small actions can I take to strengthen my relationships? How can I bring more creativity, reflection, and balance into my day? Remember, every story, even a simple one, is a chance to practice English and to better understand yourself. Globe showing Europe-Africa social interactions and community involvement. Now, let's shift our focus to social interactions. Recently, I joined a community volunteering event with my colleague Robert. We were helping to organize a local charity fair, and it turned out to be a truly inspiring experience. Robert mentioned something that really stayed with me. He said, "Events like these are more than just volunteering. They're opportunities to network, learn new skills, and experience different perspectives." While working side by side, I noticed people from all walks of life, teachers, students, business owners, retirees, all sharing stories, helping each other, and collaborating efficiently. That experience reminded me that social activities often teach lessons you won't find in books or lectures. They help us develop communication skills, teamwork, and empathy, all through real human connection. Woman Teacher's Story: Learning Through Social Engagement. During the event, I met a teacher named Sophia. She told me that she uses her free time to run creative workshops for children in her neighborhood. Sophia said, "Teaching outside the classroom allows me to interact in different ways. I learn from the children as much as they learn from me." Her story made me realize that social engagement isn't only about enjoyment, it's also about growth, learning, and giving back to the community. It's a wonderful reminder that we can all make a positive impact, no matter how small our actions might seem. Family Man Woman Girl Story: Family Adaptation and Change. Family dynamics also offer valuable learning experiences. I recently visited my friend Daniel and his wife Emily, who had just moved to a new city because of Daniel's job. Adjusting to a new environment can be challenging, especially with children, but they found creative ways to make the transition smooth. Emily shared, We explored local parks and community centers every weekend. It became a fun adventure, and our children adapted quickly. This example shows that proactive engagement and planning ahead can make big life changes easier and strengthen family relationships. It's not just about adjusting. It's about turning challenges into opportunities for growth and connection. Speaking head language learning through social contexts. On a different note, let me tell you about my experience with language learning in a social setting. Last month, I joined a debate club where members practice advanced English by discussing current events. During one session, a member named Lucas made a very insightful comment during a discussion about workplace communication. He said, "Active listening is just as important as speaking. When you truly understand someone, you can respond thoughtfully and build stronger professional relationships." I found this idea powerful, both for English learning and for real-life communication. Using expressions like active listening and respond thoughtfully not only makes your English sound more natural, but also shows emotional intelligence and professionalism. Briefcase professional communication and constructive feedback. Speaking of professional environments, I remember an experience during a project meeting with my team. One of my teammates, Rachel, noticed a potential flaw in our plan. Instead of pointing it out directly or criticizing the idea, she said, "I think there might be a way to improve this part of the project. Can we explore alternatives together?" Her words were polite, respectful, and solution-focused. That moment reminded me that advanced English communication isn't just about vocabulary, it's about tone, tact, and phrasing. Expressions like constructive feedback, explore alternatives, and solution-focused approach are perfect examples of professional and diplomatic language. They help you sound confident and positive, especially in business or teamwork settings. Party Bopper Family Story: Teamwork and Celebration. Now, let's return to family interactions. My neighbor Martin recently shared a story about celebrating his daughter's birthday. He said, "I wanted it to be special, but I also wanted it to teach her about teamwork. So, instead of planning everything alone, Martin involved the whole family. Everyone had a role, from decorating the house to preparing food. The children arranged chairs, set the table, and made small handmade decorations. He told me, it wasn't just a birthday celebration. It was a lesson in cooperation and appreciation." I thought that was such a beautiful idea, turning an everyday family event into a meaningful learning experience. Light bulb reflection and vocabulary practice. Stories like these, about volunteering, teaching, adapting, communicating, and celebrating, all share one message: growth comes through connection. When we take time to engage with others, we learn not only about them, but also about ourselves. Let's review a few advanced expressions from today's stories. Collaborating efficiently. Active listening. Constructive feedback. Solution-focused. Explore alternatives. Proactive engagement. Giving back to the community. Try using these phrases this week in your own conversations or writing. For example, you could: white heavy checkmark, describe a teamwork experience at work using collaborating efficiently. White heavy checkmark, talk about communication at work with constructive feedback. White heavy check mark. Write a journal entry about how you give back to the community. Using vocabulary and context helps you retain it longer and sound fluent naturally. Family man, woman, girl. Family lessons through everyday moments. Martin added, "It was amazing to see them coordinate and support each other. They learned responsibility and cooperation while having fun." Stories like these show that family events are not only for enjoyment, they're also opportunities to teach essential life skills such as teamwork, responsibility, and empathy. When families work together, even on something simple like planning a birthday, they strengthen their bond and create lasting memories. Briefcase story: problem solving and collaboration at work. In another work-related example, I spoke with Hannah, a senior analyst at a consulting firm. She shared how she and her team handle complex projects. Hannah said, "We break problems into smaller parts, analyze each element, and discuss solutions together. Collaboration ensures that no perspective is overlooked." Her story highlights how important problem-solving, collaboration, and analyzing different perspectives are in professional life. Interestingly, these same advanced English words, analyze, collaboration, perspective, problem-solving, are not limited to business contexts. You can use them in everyday conversations when explaining how you make decisions or approach challenges. Camera with flash story: creativity and learning through hobbies. Social life and hobbies also play a big role in personal development. I recently attended a photography workshop where participants discussed how they balance creativity with daily responsibilities. One participant, Peter, said, "Photography allows me to slow down and observe details I might otherwise miss. It improves my patience and appreciation for everyday life." Another attendee, Linda, added, "Sharing photos and discussing them with others helps me express ideas clearly and gain new perspectives." Their experiences show that hobbies are more than entertainment. They are powerful tools for developing soft skills, creativity, and communication. When we engage in creative activities, we learn to express ourselves better, connect with others, and see the world from different points of view. Revolving Hearts family support during challenging times. Family support is especially important during stressful or busy times. I remember my friend Alex telling me how his wife, Rachel, supported him during a particularly demanding work project. He said, "When deadlines were tight, she encouraged me to take breaks and reminded me to focus on quality over speed." Her support helped him stay balanced, motivated, and clear-minded. For advanced English learners, expressions like focus on quality over speed or maintain balance are excellent examples of natural, professional English that show emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Fork and knife with late story: professional networking and communication. Another interesting story comes from my colleague Fiona, who recently hosted a networking dinner. Professionals from different industries came together to share ideas and experiences. Fiona said, "Networking isn't just about exchanging contacts. It's about listening, sharing knowledge, and forming genuine connections. During the dinner, she encouraged everyone to be curious, to ask thoughtful questions, and to reflect on others' perspectives. Listening to her, I realized that social interactions like these improve not only our vocabulary, but also our critical thinking, cultural awareness, and confidence in advanced English communication. Croissant story: balancing business and family life. Let's now explore a different side of family life. I recently met a couple, Thomas and Olivia, who run a small family bakery together. They told me about the challenges and rewards of balancing business with family responsibilities. Olivia said, "We schedule our shifts so that one of us is always available for our children while maintaining our bakery operations." Thomas added, "This arrangement allows us to support each other both professionally and personally. It also sets an example for our children about teamwork and planning." Their story perfectly illustrates that balancing work and family requires creativity, trust, and effective communication. It's about finding harmony, not perfection, in daily life. Bar chart story: clear communication in the workplace. Workplaces also provide great opportunities to develop advanced communication skills. I once observed a meeting where my friend Sam presented a complex marketing strategy. Instead of overwhelming the audience with technical language, he simplified his ideas using analogies and real-life examples. Sam explained, "When people understand concepts through relatable examples, decisions are made faster and collaboration improves." His presentation showed that good communication isn't about using difficult words. It's about clarity, connection, and context. Speech balloon reflection and advanced vocabulary. Each of these stories, from birthday celebrations to workplace meetings, reminds us that growth happens when we combine learning, empathy, and communication in everyday life. Let's review some useful advanced vocabulary from this lesson. Analyze: to examine something carefully in detail. Collaboration: working together toward a common goal. Perspective: a particular way of thinking or seeing something. Problem solving: finding solutions to challenges. Soft skills: personal qualities like communication, teamwork, and creativity. Focus on quality over speed. Prioritize excellence rather than rushing. Maintain balance. Keep emotional or professional stability. Constructive feedback: helpful comments that lead to improvement. Try using these words in your own stories this week. For example, you might say, "I collaborated with my classmates on a group project." Photography helps me see life from a new perspective. At work, I try to focus on quality over speed. The more you use advanced vocabulary and context, the more natural and confident your English will become. Seedling building understanding through family communication. This highlights that advanced English learners benefit from real-life stories that demonstrate emotional awareness and effective communication. Let's explore another story about family dynamics and communication. My friend Jonathan recently shared an experience about managing misunderstandings at home. One evening, he noticed that his teenage son, Alex, seemed frustrated after returning from school. Instead of assuming the reason, Jonathan decided to ask open-ended questions. he said. I asked Alex how his day went and what challenges he faced. Listening carefully without judgment helped him open up. Alex explained that he had struggled with a group project, and talking about it made him feel supported and understood. Jonathan's story reminds us that active listening and patience are essential in family interactions. In English, phrases like open-ended questions, active listening, and without judgment are useful not only in family situations, but also in professional communication where empathy and clarity matter. Briefcase staying calm under pressure at work. Moving on to professional life, I want to share a story from my colleague Victoria, who works in finance. She described a situation where a client requested last-minute changes to an important report. Instead of reacting with frustration, she calmly evaluated priorities and adjusted the workflow. Victoria said, I divided the tasks into urgent and non-urgent items and informed my team about the changes. This approach helped her maintain professionalism and avoid chaos, even under pressure. Her experience highlights that handling stress gracefully is not only a valuable workplace skill, it also strengthens your communication in English. Expressions like evaluate priorities, divide tasks, and maintain professionalism are excellent for advanced learners to use in business conversations or interviews. Urb social growth through community activities. In the realm of social life, I attended a small community gardening workshop organized by my friend Lucas. The event brought together people of different ages and backgrounds. Lucas explained, gardening teaches patience, cooperation, and creativity. Each plant has its own needs, just like people. Understanding and adapting is key. While working alongside him, I noticed how participants shared stories, exchanged advice, and even helped each other solve problems beyond gardening. Social experiences like these not only improve conversational skills, but also nurture empathy and collaboration. Vocabulary such as cooperation, adapting, and exchange advice can be practiced naturally when describing real-life interactions or storytelling. Party popper lessons from family traditions. Family traditions also provide wonderful lessons in planning and coordination. My cousin Rachel recently hosted a large holiday celebration for her extended family. She admitted that coordinating different schedules, dietary preferences, and activities was challenging, but planning ahead and assigning responsibilities made everything manageable. Rachel even involved her children in the preparation. They helped set the table, organize games, and greet guests. She said, including the children taught them responsibility and made the event more meaningful for everyone. Her story shows that effective planning and delegation are not just professional skills, they are essential life tools for creating harmony at home. Advanced English learners can use terms like coordination, assigning responsibilities, and planning ahead to describe similar experiences clearly and naturally. Handshake teamwork and communication in the workplace. Switching back to the workplace, I remember a team-building activity my company recently organized. During the session, each member shared one recent success and one challenge they faced. My colleague Andrew described a problem he encountered while managing multiple projects simultaneously. He said, "I realized that documenting processes and sharing progress updates with the team prevented confusion and ensured alignment." His story highlights the importance of clear communication and transparency in teamwork. In English, advanced learners can practice using expressions such as documenting processes, sharing progress updates, and ensuring alignment to describe collaborative work. These professional habits not only build trust, but also make your spoken English sound confident, structured, and precise. Briefcase documentation, transparency, and professional communication. Documentation and transparency are key principles in effective communication. Expressions such as documenting processes, sharing progress, and ensuring alignment are highly valuable for learners who want to sound confident and professional in English. Let me share a personal story that connects communication skills with social learning. Recently, I joined a local public speaking club to improve my fluency and confidence. One member, Helen, shared her experience of preparing a speech about community service. She said, "Preparing for this speech taught me the importance of clarity, pacing, and engaging storytelling." Feedback from others was invaluable. Observing Helen, I realized that public speaking encourages precise vocabulary, structured arguments, and confident delivery, skills that are useful not only for professional settings, but also in social conversations. Advanced English learners can practice phrases such as engaging storytelling, pacing, and structured arguments when preparing their own presentations or discussions. House with garden: managing family responsibilities. Family responsibilities often intersect with unexpected situations. My friend Mark described how he handled a sudden home repair while managing tight work deadlines. He said, "I contacted a reliable plumber, scheduled the repair, and adjusted my work hours temporarily. Communication with my family and employer kept everyone informed and reduced stress." Mark's approach shows that problem-solving and clear communication are crucial in everyday life. Vocabulary like adjusted work hours, kept informed, and reduced stress can be used naturally in both storytelling and professional contexts. Glowing star: mentoring and learning through social life. Social life often creates opportunities for mentoring and mutual learning. I met Margaret, a retired teacher who runs a weekend tutoring group for children in her community. She explained, "Mentoring young learners not only helps them, but also sharpens my communication and patience. Each child brings a different perspective, which challenges me to explain concepts in creative ways." Margaret's story reminds us that social engagement is a two-way learning process. Learners can use expressions such as sharpens communication, challenges me, and creative ways when describing mentoring or teaching experiences in English. Counterclockwise arrows: button adaptability in the workplace. Workplace challenges often require adaptability and leadership. My friend Olivia, who manages a team of analysts, shared a situation where a key team member fell ill during a critical project. She said, "I reassigned tasks, provided additional guidance, and ensured that the remaining team members were supported. Flexibility and clear instructions prevented delays." Her experience shows that reassigning tasks, providing guidance, and preventing delays are part of effective management. Advanced learners can practice these terms to express professionalism and problem-solving skills in English. Seedling family bonding through shared projects. Now, let's consider how family projects can strengthen communication and teamwork. My neighbors, Peter and Clara, decided to renovate their garden together. Peter said, "We designed the layout as a family activity. Each person contributed ideas, and we learned to compromise and implement our plans effectively." Clara added, "The process strengthened our relationships and gave everyone a sense of achievement." Stories like these show that family projects are opportunities to practice communication, negotiation, and teamwork. Vocabulary such as compromise, implement plans, and sense of achievement can be incorporated naturally into conversations about personal or family life. Artist palette, social collaboration, and lifelong learning. In social contexts, collaboration often leads to unexpected learning experiences. At a community art workshop, I met Lucas and Sophia, who taught painting techniques to beginners. Lucas said, "Teaching others reinforces your own skills. Explaining steps clearly helps you express ideas more effectively." Sophia added, "Interacting with participants from diverse backgrounds broadens your understanding and vocabulary." These stories highlight that social learning environments enhance both language development and cultural awareness. Advanced English learners can use expressions such as reinforces skills, expressing ideas, and broadens understanding to describe their own growth through collaborative or creative activities. Seedling professional growth through feedback and reflection. Professional growth often begins with feedback and reflection. My friend Daniel described receiving constructive criticism from his manager after delivering a presentation. He said, "I focused on the feedback, practiced the suggested improvements, and applied them in future presentations." Daniel's approach shows that reflecting on feedback helps accelerate both personal and professional development. Phrases such as constructive criticism, applied improvements, and reflecting on feedback are excellent for learners to use in workplace conversations or self-reflective storytelling. Revolving Hearts family support during challenging times. Family support plays a vital role during challenging periods. My cousin Sarah shared how her husband Kevin supported her while she was preparing for a professional exam. She said, "Kevin helped organize study sessions, prepared meals, and encouraged me daily. His support kept me motivated and reduced anxiety." Stories like this emphasize that emotional support and teamwork are essential in both family and professional life. Expressions such as motivated, reduced anxiety, and teamwork can be used naturally when talking about overcoming challenges or describing supportive relationships. Compass balancing work and family commitments. Let's begin with a story about balancing professional responsibilities and family commitments. My friend Ethan, a software developer, recently led a complex project at work. He explained how he manages his schedule while still maintaining quality family time. Ethan said, "I create detailed plans for each day, including short breaks to connect with my wife, Hannah, and our children. Even 5 minutes of undivided attention strengthens relationships." This story highlights how time management and mindfulness are crucial for maintaining balance in a busy life. Phrases like undivided attention, detailed plans, and time management are useful for describing personal organization and setting priorities effectively. Speech balloon communicating clearly in professional settings. Switching to the workplace, my colleague Maria shared an interesting challenge she faced during a client presentation. She said, "I noticed the client was confused by some of the technical terms, so I paused and explained each point with a practical example. It made the discussion clearer and more productive." Maria's story emphasizes the importance of clarity and empathy in professional communication. Learners can practice expressions such as technical terms, practical example, and productive discussion to sound more fluent and confident when speaking English in professional contexts. Globe showing Europe-Africa social growth and community engagement. Now, let's explore social life through a story about community engagement. My friend Samuel recently joined a local language exchange group where people practice English and other languages together. He explained, "Interacting with people from different backgrounds expands your vocabulary and exposes you to various cultural perspectives. Each conversation is a mini lesson in communication." Samuel's experience demonstrates that social gatherings can promote both personal growth and language improvement. Advanced English learners can focus on expressions such as expand your vocabulary, cultural perspectives, and mini lesson in communication to enrich their English naturally. Glowing dark key takeaway. These stories show that growth, whether professional, personal, or social, comes from communication, reflection, and connection. By practicing advanced vocabulary like constructive criticism, time management, productive discussion, and cultural perspectives, you not only expand your English fluency, but also develop the mindset and skills needed to succeed in real-life interactions. House with garden family routines and meaningful communication. Family routines often provide valuable learning experiences. My neighbor Laura shared how her family organizes a weekly discussion night where each member talks about a topic they care about. Laura said, "We take turns presenting ideas, asking questions, and listening actively. It improves our communication and strengthens our family bonds." This example shows that structured family interactions can enhance listening skills, critical thinking, and emotional connections. Expressions like discussion night, presenting ideas, and listening actively can be used naturally in both family and professional contexts. Briefcase handling challenging situations professionally. In a professional context, my friend Daniel, who works in marketing, shared an experience about managing a difficult client. He said, "The client had unrealistic expectations, But instead of getting frustrated, I listened carefully, asked clarifying questions, and suggested alternative solutions. This thoughtful approach built trust and demonstrated professionalism. Phrases like clarifying questions, alternative solutions, and built trust are very useful for advanced English learners to describe problem-solving and negotiation skills. House-family coordination and delegation. Let's dive into another family story. My cousin Olivia and her husband Nathan recently moved into a new home. They faced challenges coordinating renovations, furniture arrangements, and school schedules for their children. Olivia explained, "We divided responsibilities based on our strengths. Nathan focused on the logistics, while I managed schedules and coordination. It made the process smoother and less stressful." Her story highlights that delegation, cooperation, and communication are essential in effective family management. Vocabulary such as coordinated schedules, responsibilities, logistics, and delegation can be practiced naturally in conversations about both home and work life. Cooking social learning through collaboration. Social life can also involve collaborative learning experiences. I attended a weekend cooking workshop with my friend Sophia, where each participant was paired with someone they had never met before. Sophia said, "Working with a new partner challenged me to explain steps clearly, listen carefully, and adapt to different approaches. It was a great exercise in teamwork and communication." This example shows that collaborative environments teach not only practical skills, but also interpersonal skills that are valuable for advanced English learners. Phrases like adapt to different approaches, teamwork, and interpersonal skills are ideal for describing collaboration and social learning. Adult school mentorship and professional growth. Now let's consider professional development through mentorship. My colleague Robert mentors junior analysts at his firm. He said, "Mentoring allows me to refine my explanations, provide constructive feedback, and observe different problem-solving methods. It enhances my leadership and communication skills." Robert's story demonstrates that sharing knowledge benefits both the mentor and the mentee. Advanced learners can practice vocabulary such as constructive feedback, problem-solving methods, and enhances leadership when describing mentoring experiences or workplace growth. Man-woman red hair, family communication, and emotional intelligence. Family communication also provides powerful lessons. My friend Hannah shared a story about resolving a disagreement with her teenage daughter. She said, "Instead of arguing, I asked open-ended questions to understand her perspective. This approach allowed her to express herself and helped us reach a compromise." Using phrases like open-ended questions, express herself, and reach a compromise can make English sound more natural, empathetic, and polite in personal interactions. Puzzle piece adaptability in the workplace. In workplace scenarios, adaptability is often key. My friend Lucas, who works in project management, shared a story about handling unexpected changes in a critical project. He said, "When the client suddenly changed priorities, I quickly revised the project timelines, redistributed tasks, and ensured the team stayed informed. Staying flexible kept the project on track." This story highlights how adaptability, communication, and strategic planning are vital for maintaining efficiency under pressure. Learners can practice expressions such as revised timelines, redistributed tasks, and stayed informed to sound confident when describing professional challenges. Counterclockwise arrows button adaptability and clear communication in the workplace. My friend Lucas, who works in project management, shared how his team handled unexpected project changes. He said, "I communicated the changes to the team immediately, reassessed priorities, and ensured everyone understood their new responsibilities. Flexibility prevented confusion and maintained project quality." This story highlights that adaptability and clear communication are key to managing workplace challenges. Expressions such as reassessed priorities, new responsibilities, and maintained project quality are practical for professional English learners who want to describe efficient and responsible leadership. Test tube family activities that combine education and fun. Family activities can also combine learning and enjoyment. My neighbor Emily shared how she and her husband Peter created a weekly science experiment session for their children. Emily said, "We choose simple experiments, explain the steps clearly, and encourage questions. It's both educational and enjoyable, and it strengthens our family connection." Stories like this show how families can practice active learning, teaching skills, and interactive communication. Phrases like encourage questions, active learning, and strengthens connection are great for expressing meaningful educational experiences in English. Speech balloon conflict resolution in social settings. Social events can also teach important lessons in conflict resolution. My friend Nathan shared his experience organizing a charity fundraiser. He said, "We faced disagreements about how to allocate tasks. I facilitated a discussion where everyone voiced their opinions, and we reached a consensus. The process improved teamwork and prevented misunderstandings." Expressions such as facilitated a discussion, reached a consensus, and prevented misunderstandings are excellent for describing collaboration, negotiation, and problem-solving in English. Rocket taking initiative at work. Workplace experiences often highlight the importance of initiative. I observed my colleague Victoria, who noticed inefficiencies in a reporting process. She said, "I suggested a new template and trained the team on it. This small initiative saved time and improved accuracy." Vocabulary like initiative, inefficiencies, and improved accuracy is highly relevant for describing proactive problem-solving and leadership in professional English. Mancook family lessons through shared tasks. Family moments often provide valuable life lessons. My cousin Daniel described a weekend when his family prepared a large meal together. He said, "We divided tasks, encouraged creativity in plating, and celebrated each success. It taught patience, teamwork, and attention to detail." Phrases like encouraged creativity, attention to detail, and celebrated success can be used naturally in English storytelling to describe achievement, collaboration, and shared joy. Books social learning through discussion and reflection. Social networking experiences are also rich in learning opportunities. My friend Fiona organized a book discussion group where each member analyzed a character's decisions. Fiona said, "Analyzing and discussing choices improved our critical thinking and vocabulary. Sharing perspectives allowed us to understand situations more deeply." Advanced learners can practice phrases such as critical thinking, analyzing choices, and sharing perspectives to enhance both comprehension and spoken fluency. Gear problem solving and leadership in professional contexts. Professional challenges often lead to growth and innovation. My friend Andrew, who manages a team of engineers, described how he handled a major technical setback. He said, "We identified the problem, brainstormed solutions, and implemented changes efficiently. Communication and patience were crucial to overcoming the challenge." Terms like brainstorm solutions, implemented changes, and overcoming the challenge are powerful for discussing problem-solving, leadership, and resilience in professional contexts. White heavy checkmark vocabulary highlights for advanced learners. Reassessed priorities, reviewing and adjusting what's most important. Facilitated a discussion, guided a group conversation effectively. Took initiative, acted independently to improve a process. Encouraged creativity, motivated others to think originally. Attention to detail, careful focus on accuracy and quality. Shared perspectives, exchanged opinions to deepen understanding. Artist palette, family collaboration, and creativity. Family collaboration often strengthens relationships. My neighbor Sophia told me how she and her husband Liam created a weekend art project for their children. Sophia said, "We planned together, encouraged creativity, and celebrated each child's contribution. It brought joy and strengthened our connection." Vocabulary such as encouraged creativity, celebrated contribution, and strengthened connection can be used in English storytelling to describe positive family interactions. Writing hand social learning and confidence. Social learning experiences, like workshops and group classes, can greatly enhance confidence. My friend Samuel joined a creative writing class where he shared his stories with others. He said, "Receiving feedback improved my writing and public speaking skills. Discussing ideas in a supportive environment boosted my confidence." Expressions such as boosted my confidence, receiving feedback, and supportive environment are useful for learners discussing personal growth and skill development. Family man, woman, girl managing family challenges. Let's begin with a story about managing unexpected challenges in family life. My friend Alex recently shared how he and his wife Julia handled a sudden illness in their household while maintaining their work responsibilities. Alex said, "When my daughter fell sick, Julia and I coordinated shifts to care for her. I worked from home in the mornings and Julia took the afternoons. Clear communication and flexibility made the situation manageable without unnecessary stress." Phrases such as coordinated shifts, clear communication, and unnecessary stress are helpful for describing how families handle emergencies calmly and effectively. Office building, workplace coordination, and teamwork. Switching to a professional experience, my colleague Ethan described a complex project involving multiple departments. He said, "We established a shared timeline, clarified responsibilities, and held daily check-ins. This coordination ensured that deadlines were met without confusion." Advanced learners can practice expressions like clarified responsibilities, held check-ins, and ensured deadlines when describing organization, teamwork, and project management in English. Chess-pawn learning through social hobbies. Social life also provides opportunities for meaningful learning. I attended a community chess club with my friend Rachel, who explained, "Chess teaches strategic thinking, patience, and decision-making. Interacting with players of different skill levels improves both skills and confidence. Vocabulary such as strategic thinking, decision-making, and different skill levels can be applied to discussions about hobbies, training, and even professional challenges." Party Hopper family routines and problem-solving. Family routines often teach problem-solving and organization. My neighbor Laura described organizing a surprise birthday party for her husband, Peter. She said, "We had to plan the decorations, invitations, and meal without letting him find out. Coordinating with friends and family taught us creativity and teamwork under pressure." Phrases such as coordinating with others, creativity under pressure, and teamwork are useful when discussing planning, leadership, and collaboration in English. Clipboard professional responsibility and communication. In professional contexts, clear communication and documentation are essential. My friend Olivia shared her experience managing a client project where requirements kept changing. She said, "I maintained an updated document outlining progress, challenges, and next steps. Communicating clearly with the client minimized misunderstandings and maintained trust." Expressions such as maintained updated documents, minimized misunderstandings, and maintained trust are excellent for advanced English learners who want to describe professional responsibility and effective workplace communication. Seedlings, social learning, and community growth. Let's now explore more social learning experiences where interaction, collaboration, and reflection build both confidence and language fluency. Community settings, such as workshops, clubs, or volunteer events, provide natural opportunities to use expressions like share experiences, exchange ideas, and develop new skills in real-life contexts. These situations remind us that growth happens through connection, whether at home, at work, or in the community. Cooking social learning through shared experiences. My friend Lucas recently participated in a cooking workshop where each participant prepared a dish from their own culture. He said, "Explaining my recipe to others required clarity, while observing their methods expanded my knowledge. Collaboration enriched the learning experience." Vocabulary such as expanded my knowledge, collaboration, and enriched experience can be used when discussing group activities or learning opportunities. House with garden, family projects, and teamwork. Family projects also offer opportunities for planning and collaboration. My cousin Daniel shared how he and his wife Laura renovated their garage together. He said, "We planned the layout, divided tasks, and ensured safety measures were followed. Completing the project together strengthened our teamwork and communication." Phrases like divided tasks, ensured safety measures, and strengthened teamwork are practical for describing collaborative projects at home or at work. Light bulb professional innovation and problem solving. Professional challenges often encourage innovation. My colleague Sophia described a situation where a software system failed during a critical operation. She said, "We quickly evaluated alternative solutions, assigned roles to team members, and implemented changes efficiently. The outcome exceeded expectations." Vocabulary such as evaluated alternative solutions, assigned roles, and exceeded expectations is valuable for describing problem solving and innovation in English. Family man-girl, family mentorship and guidance. Family life can also provide opportunities for teaching and mentoring. My friend Michael shared how he helps his children with school projects. He said, "I guide them step by step, encourage questions, and discuss creative solutions. The process strengthens both their confidence and our relationship." Phrases such as step-by-step guidance, discuss creative solutions, and strengthens relationship are useful when describing guidance and mentorship in English. Speaking head social confidence and communication skills. Social interactions can significantly improve communication skills. I attended a public speaking meetup with my friend Fiona. She said, "Preparing speeches and listening to feedback helped me refine my language, organize my thoughts clearly, and deliver ideas confidently." Vocabulary such as refine language, organize thoughts, and deliver ideas confidently can be practiced when discussing professional or social presentations. Balance scale work, life balance, and prioritization. Work-life balance often requires prioritization. My colleague Andrew explained, "I categorize tasks as urgent, important, or flexible. This method helps me focus on what matters most and reduces unnecessary stress." Expressions like categorize tasks, focus on what matters, and reduces stress are practical for describing planning strategies and productivity techniques. National Park family negotiation and compromise. Family interactions also teach negotiation and compromise. My neighbor Clara told me how she and her husband Liam planned a weekend outing. She said, "We discussed preferences, considered everyone's needs, and agreed on a plan. Compromise ensured everyone enjoyed the day." Vocabulary such as considered needs, agreed on a plan, and compromise is useful for describing collaborative decision-making. Chart increasing professional growth and reflection. Professional growth often involves feedback and reflection. My friend Daniel shared how he improved his leadership skills. He said, "After every project, I reflect on what went well and identify areas for improvement. Asking for feedback from team members provides insights I might miss." Phrases like reflect on outcomes, areas for improvement, and provides insights are valuable for discussing personal development and continuous learning. Camera with flash collaborative skill building. Social learning can also involve skill building. I recently attended a photography club with my friend Lucas. He said, "Sharing tips, observing techniques, and experimenting with settings enhanced my abilities. Working with others provided perspectives I hadn't considered before." Vocabulary such as experimenting, enhanced abilities, and provided perspectives is practical for describing collaborative learning and creative growth. Artist palette, family creativity, and collaboration. Family routines often encourage creativity and problem-solving. My friend Hannah shared how she and her children create a weekly art project together. She said, "We brainstorm ideas, gather materials, and present our work as a family. The activity improves creativity, problem-solving, and collaboration." Expressions such as brainstorm ideas, gather materials, and improves collaboration are effective for describing creative learning and family bonding. Light bulb creative family projects. Phrases like brainstorm ideas, problem-solving, and present our work are useful for describing creative family projects. Speaking head workplace communication and active listening. Workplace communication is often strengthened through active listening. My colleague Victoria said, "During meetings, I focus on understanding everyone's perspective, asking clarifying questions, and summarizing key points. This approach prevents misunderstandings and promotes collaboration." Vocabulary such as clarifying questions, summarizing key points, and promotes collaboration is useful for professional English communication. Family planning and responsibility. Family projects can also teach planning and responsibility. My neighbor Peter described organizing a garden renovation. He said, "We researched ideas, created a schedule, and involved everyone in the tasks. Responsibility and coordination improved, and the garden transformed beautifully." Phrases like created a schedule, involved everyone, and responsibility and coordination are practical for describing teamwork and planning in both home and work contexts. Soccer ball, social engagement and leadership. Social engagement often builds leadership skills. My friend Samuel organized a community sports event. He said, "Coordinating teams, explaining rules, and resolving conflicts improved my leadership and organizational skills." Vocabulary such as coordinating teams, resolving conflicts, and organizational skills is practical for describing leadership experiences and team management. Counterclockwise arrows button, professional adaptability. Professional challenges can foster adaptability. My colleague Rachel shared a story about managing a cross-department project with changing priorities. She said, "I adapted by reviewing objectives daily, communicating adjustments clearly, and monitoring progress closely." Expressions such as reviewing objectives, communicating adjustments, and monitoring progress are useful for discussing workplace adaptability and flexibility. Puzzle piece, family learning and critical thinking. Family moments also provide valuable learning opportunities. My cousin Michael described organizing a weekend puzzle activity. He said, "Each person contributed ideas, collaborated, and celebrated completion. The experience enhanced critical thinking, patience, and family bonding." Vocabulary like enhanced critical thinking, patience, and family bonding is useful for describing interactive family activities. Revolving hearts, social empathy, and volunteering. Social interactions can also teach empathy. My friend Olivia shared her experience volunteering at a community center. She said, "Listening to different life stories, offering support, and collaborating with others taught me empathy and strengthened communication skills." Phrases such as offering support, strengthened communication, and taught empathy are practical for advanced English learners discussing personal development. Alarm clock, work, life balance, and boundaries. Work-life balance can be improved through clear boundaries. My friend Andrew said, "I set specific work hours, avoid checking emails during family time, and prioritize essential tasks. Boundaries enhance focus and prevent burnout." Vocabulary like prioritize essential tasks, boundaries, and prevent burnout is practical for discussing productivity and time management. Family man, woman, girl, family collaboration and independence. Family collaboration can foster responsibility and independence. My neighbor Clara said, "We assign age-appropriate tasks to children, supervise when necessary, and encourage decision-making. These practices teach accountability and confidence." Phrases such as age-appropriate tasks, decision-making, and teach accountability are useful for describing parenting strategies and personal growth.